Right, year 7, it's time to carry on with our mystery of the skeletons. Now, you've already looked at clues A to D, so you should already have an idea about these skeletons and who you think they are. We're now going to look at clues E to L, but I'm going to give you some help on this because I'm feeling generous. So I'm going to talk you through a few of the clues, give you a little bit of help, so then you can get on with filling in your table. So, let's start with clue E. Okay, so clue E, as you can see here, it's another of the skeletons found at Maiden Castle. One of the skeletons that's been buried. We've seen some of the skeletons already, so here's another one. Now, look in the middle. I'll point to it here. Look in the middle of the picture. Okay, you might see, yours might be a bit clearer because you've got the book right in front of you. You can see something there in the middle of that skeleton. Focus on that. It links to two of the other sources that you'll come and have a look at in a minute. Now, linking sources is very important. It's a very important skill that you're going to use today and in future history lessons when we look at sources about the same event or the same time. It's good to link sources, combine all the knowledge and all the things that you see together. So focus on that because you'll be able to link it. You should be able to link it to at least one of the other sources, if not two of the other sources. So, what have we got now? Clue F. The only written evidence about what happened around Maiden Castle is this, written by a Roman historian called Suetonius. He says Vespasian, the commander of the Second Legion, fought 30 battles, conquered 2 warlike tribes, and captured more than 20 large settlements. Have a think about that one. Now we've got clue G over here. So here's a Roman next to a ballista. This thing here is called a ballista. It's a Roman weapon. What you do is you wind that up there at the back and it kind of pulls back, a bit like a catapult or an elastic band, pulls back on this bit here and that fires something called a ballista bolt, which is that there, see, another source, fires a ballista bolt like that, which will fly through the air like an arrow and can end up doing a lot of damage landing in people. Yeah. So there, that's a Roman stood next to a ballista. So you've hopefully made a few links there. Clue I. The archaeologists at Maiden Castle uncovered 52 skeletons. There may be more still buried, but only part of the hill fort has been excavated, so only part of the hill fort has been dug up. 14 of the 52 skeletons had wounds made by weapons. Most of these wounds were sword cuts on the skull. Now, you've seen a picture of a skull already. And we've decided that some of those look a little bit like sword cuts, maybe. One skull had a hole made by a spear. Interesting. Very interesting. J, clue J. So 4 of the people lived on for some time after they were injured. We know this because the damaged bones had regrown after the injury. Although we cannot tell exactly how long they lived for after their injuries, we know it must have been weeks or months. That is how long bone takes to start to heal. Again, have a think. Make some links in your head. What might have happened at Maiden Castle? That's what we're trying to work out, who these skeletons are and what's happened to them. Next, we've got clue K. So here's a map, and this map shows, you can see up here on the key, how much of Britain the Romans controlled by the year AD 59. So you can see here's Maiden Castle down here, that little dot there on the map. So about the time when the bones come from, when they were alive here at Maiden Castle, this is all the land that the Romans controlled. So they control this area of Britain where Maiden Castle is in AD, or by AD 59. And as I said before, that's when-ish these bones came from. And finally, clue L. All the skeletons found at Maiden Castle were buried with objects to take to their next life. These objects included legs of meat and tankards of ale, pots, weapons, beads, rings, and brooches. So think very carefully about that. We've seen these skeletons, and we've seen that a few of them have been buried with things. Think about who might have buried them and how they might have been buried. If you're a Roman soldier who's just killed these people, are you going to take the trouble to bury them with legs of meat and tankards of ale and things like that? Are you going to take the time to do that? So think very carefully, use all the evidence that you've seen so far, make some links with your brains, with your big juicy brains that you've been using already in lessons. Very impressed so far. So now what you need to do is you need to have a think about everything you've seen, what you've read, and go about filling that table, okay, that we've talked about. Come and see me at the front of the classroom if you need a bit of help with that. Remember as well that you can rewind this video, pause and rewind it, and re-watch a bit if you need my help again. If you need to look at the source with my help again. But best of luck, Year 7. Keep going, keep working hard. Have a go filling out that table, and see you later.